I say men and women are different. And a lot of women tend to flip out when I say that. And I say, and I always had to clarify, you're different from, not better, not lesser than, you know?
You say that in that order, or you say it backwards?
No, however, I say it basically in that way. I won't say, I reverse it if I forget. But yeah, but that's why I say, like, we're different. We're different from each other, but you're not lower than me. You know, being different does not mean you're lesser than. And I think that's kind of. Go ahead.
I think that's where the perception is being misconstrued.
Exactly.
Literally, you're saying that, but I don't know where that's being said per se in a conversation, and that kind of matters because, like, if you come off, I've heard in this conversation that we've had already about hierarchy and bum and this, that, certain negative shit, you know.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody, whether you're a male, female, whatever, you're not going to take too kindly to the negative stuff.
Of course.
So then, with that, you have to understand of what you're saying, like, and when you're saying it, like, it's like, hold up. Don't nobody want no negative towards them in their name, period.
I get that, but some things need to be said, though. And I also say that, too. Like,
and that's what can be said. And that's where I'm going, okay, well, how do you title it? What you going to say? You have freedom of speech. Everybody got that. But
they're trying to take it away. Don't get me wrong. We're losing it we're losing it very little by little. We're losing it.
But at the same time, I'm more so going, okay, well, what's being said is what's being said. But I think it's very difficult for one person to talk for all people.
Oh no, I'm making more of a generalized statement. I'm not really talking because okay. So this is a stance.
You can't generalize, man.
You have to, because there are some generalizations that apply. Because you got to understand. Okay, so this is one thing I like to say. And again, I'm coming from a male's perspective. I'm not talking from a female's perspective. So this is a bunch of men here. Sorry, but it's a statement I've said. I've actually told James this off the podcast. I said this: men, the standard, marry the exception. Here's the problem with that argument. There's two issues with that argument. One, the exception is different for every man. And two, every woman thinks she's the exception. And
you said the standards, what?
Men will the standard, but marry the exception. The problem with that argument is that the exception is different for every man, and every woman thinks she's the exception. So what I mean by that is that basically because of those two exceptions to the rules, a lot of women will kind of use that. That's why you hear when I hear women talk, whatever, they sit down and say, oh, well, I'll find a good man for me. Oh yeah, no, a man will take me. I could be this way and whatever. And I'm like, no, because there are certain standard things. Pretty much the majority of men, not all men, but the majority of men want. Again, you can see it today. Most marriages today are failing.
Okay, but when you say that's up to the individual, and this ain't no agreement of this side or the other, like when it comes to coming together, guess what? You responsible, I'm responsible for certain things, point blank, period.
Exactly.
And some people might fall short or whatever at certain points in time.
Mm-hmm.
But it is up to the individuals that are in that to make the decisions and choices of it.
But hold on, what you're saying right there, that's what I'm saying. That's the problem with that argument. That's literally the problem with the argument I put out there. It's right there where, like I said, it is different for everybody. That's why I say for every man, the exception is different. That's why, all of us can be married, but our girls could be totally different because we all need different things from a relationship. So that's kind of
it doesn't matter though. Like I don't think everybody necessarily even ever wants to get married per se. Like that's
true.
Also
well, I'm even talking about a long-term relationship. Like I'm talking about a relationship just in general. You know, like you could be in a long-term relationship, never get married. Pretty much, I'm talking about if you want to be in a relationship, not just around, have fun, whatever. I'm talking about if you want to be in a relationship, there's things. And again, I'm not trying to sit there and say, trying to exclude guys, like guys don't need to work on themselves, whatever. It's just what I've been hearing. My issue is more of this. As men, we're willing to call each other out. Like, let's just be honest. Like, if we're gonna call each other out. Hell, James just did it to me right now on the podcast, you know. But I'm not always hearing that from the women's side. You get what I'm saying? Especially today. And what all the point I'm trying to say is just kind of simply, this is kind of the big argument, is that we both have to self-improve, and to be in a relationship at the end of the day, it takes work from both parties, you know, and it takes sacrifice from both parties. I mean, come on, two of you guys in this podcast are married, and I'm sure both of y'all could tell you, to be in a marriage, not just date a girl, but to be in a marriage, it takes work. It's not easy. It takes a lot of hardship. It takes a lot of work. And what I'm saying is a lot of the way that the women think today, because again, a lot of things I'm seeing particularly like men are having to shift and change. But it's so far where it's like you're kind of taking men kind of out of nature, and you're trying to. Man, I wish I I'm sorry about that, but to me it's kind of like you're trying to take men out of nature to kind of fit you, but it's like, no, like that's why I said we're different, you know, like what we want and what generalizations, not the main points, but like generalizations, what we want out of relationships are kind of two different things. And I'll make this at the point. I'll make it as a base level. This is a base level, and just how the base of a traditional relationship is. A traditional relationship is a man's a provider, a woman is, you know, helps out the household, whatever. Now, I'm not saying I want a traditional relationship, but I am saying like there's certain aspects that kind of make it work. You know, we kind of fit together.